would you describe your coaching journey so far?
I think, you know, making this transition to coaching, it's a brand new learning experience, and I think something that is a process that's continuing. You know, now going into my third season as a head coach, still learning every day. I think, especially with this year's team, because almost the entire team, except for Brandon Rosser and Lawrence Domingo, lahat sila bago. So it's been a little bit of a challenge for me to kind of integrate and build the chemistry and camaraderie that we've had the past 2 seasons with a new group.
So it doesn't get any easier?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But, you know, that's the challenge every season, to, you know, try to encourage and motivate your guys to go and play the best they can when they're on the court.
Does it get, in a way, easier when you have a guy like Jason Brickman as your point guard? I mean, you're a point guard, and you have a Jason Brickman, and people who have watched Jason Brickman are excited with what he can do, with how he will develop. And so I think Jim Alapag can have the best assessment of what Jason Brickman's ceiling can be as a point guard.
Absolutely. You know, Jason's a great player. Again, I've been a fan of his even back from when I was playing. And now having an opportunity to coach him, you know, you see the basketball IQ, you see the work ethic, you see the leadership, and so you know, happy to have him, and happy that he's finally getting an opportunity to play here at home in front of the Filipino fans.
Is Jason Brickman one of the best point guards right now in the Philippines, whether ABL or PBA or MPBL?
Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
Why?
Again, I think one, his experience. You know, he's been playing overseas now, I believe, for the last 5 or 6 years. He spent time and won an ABL championship in Malaysia, won multiple local league championships in Thailand, and then finally, again, now this year, coming home to play for Alab. Again, you know, when you talk about, you know, his basketball IQ, his ability to find guys and really set the table, you know, I find a lot of similarities from back when I played in watching him play.
You see yourself in Jason?
Yes. I think he's a much better defender than I was when I played. I was probably a better athlete, especially at the early part of my career, but just in terms of the basketball IQ and really making his teammates look good, I always took pride in that, and I see the same in him.
If Jason down the road decides that he'd like to, let's say, join the PBA, where would he rank? As soon as he enters the PBA, where would he be? Would he be in the top 10, top 5 point guards of the league?
I don't want to put any undue pressure on him, but, you know, I may be a little biased just because I've had such an up-close look at him the past few years in the ABL, but he would definitely be up there competing at the top, you know, and you know, again, you know how highly I think of guys like Jason Castro and L.A. Tenorio and Chris Ross, Stanley Pringle. I mean, they're kind of the upper echelon of PBA guards, but I feel strongly that Jason could compete with them.
So you see yourself in Jason Brickman. Do you see yourself in Sam Deguara?
Not so much.
So much.
You know, considering the height difference, give or take a few inches. But, you know, Sam is just a huge presence for us, obviously, on both sides of the floor, both offensively and defensively. So, you know, excited to have him. You know, he's been a thorn in our side for quite some time, the ABL, and so happy that he's finally getting a chance to play here in the Philippines as well.
You're Jimmy Alapag. You're a point guard legend. How do you parlay that? How do you apply that to like a huge guy in Big Sam?
You know, I try not to talk so much about, you know, when I was playing. But again, for Sam, this being his first time playing here in the Philippines, just trying to make his adjustment to playing here in Manila for the first time as smooth as possible. But he's doing great for us.
Just between us, because we, you know, kind of share some physical attributes. Do you have a hard time talking to Sam, you know, when he's not sitting on the bench?
I may have to raise my voice a little bit so he can hear me up there.
You might have to, like, send him a Viber message all the way up there.
I might have to text him every now and then to make sure he gets messages. But again, you know, the great thing about Sam is he fits the character and work ethic characteristics that we look for in our guys, and he's proud to be representing the Philippines this season, playing for Alab, and again, playing against him 2 years ago in the finals, and now having a chance to have him here with us. Hopefully we can continue and continue to build as we get closer to the playoffs.
You're much happier to have him on your side than having to figure out how to stop him. So you have Sam, you have Jason Brickman. Now that you're in your third season, do you have like more reasons now, like more affirmation as to why you've been called into this coaching vocation?
I think so. I think each year I continue to get better. I think my time with Sacramento this past summer was a big help, and just again continuing that learning curve as a young coach. I always want to make sure that our players feel confident in what I'm telling them, and not looking at me like I don't know what I'm talking about. So this summer was a big help, and again, just continuing that learning curve.
Your name is always mentioned when people are saying who could be the next coach of Gilas. If that opportunity arrives and somebody asks you, would you want to coach the national team? Would you do it?
Of course. I think being the head coach of the Gilas Pilipinas team, it's probably the toughest coaching job here in our country.
You can remove the probably. It is the toughest coaching job. Forget about that. We're 100% sure it's the toughest job.
But at the same time, the reward that comes with being able to represent the country and knowing us as Filipinos how much love and passion we have for the game, to have that chance, I think it'd be amazing. It's not in my hands. So again, while the SBP continues their search, the only thing that I can do is continue to try to improve myself as a coach, so that if ever the opportunity comes up, that I'm as prepared as possible.
Coach Jim Alapag, always a pleasure.
Thanks. Thanks, mate.
Exchanging stories and insights with you. Best of luck in the ABL season right now for Alab.
Thank you.